What is up, everyone? Deutschbag here, and today we're going to be talking about Rust. So in the game Rust, kind of like any open world, survival game, it can be difficult to find your friends, or sometimes the maps are just really intimidating. So what you're looking at right now is the world of Rust, and as you can see, the road that goes around, it's basically a big circle. So if you follow that road, you're going to end up where you did before. Now, of course, you can go off the beaten path, and it's more difficult to find people that way. But when you're first starting out, you're really not exploring a whole lot. It's mostly trying to find your friends and trying to gather your resources so that way you can survive. So what I'm going to show you is basically how to navigate around the world. That way you can find your friends using some of the landmarks that are in the game, and have fun with your buddies. So moving to the game, I have a little timer set up in the bottom left there, and what we're going to do is as soon as I start moving, we're going to start that timer. I'm going to show you that it doesn't really take all that long to get around the whole world. Well, not the whole world, but in the big circular area. So before we start, if you look at the area that I'm in right now, it is I'm trying to think of what's up here. Okay, so there is I don't know what you call these little buildings, but it's like a little guard area or something. I don't know. There's one on each side of the road, so that's what I always call it. But there's these two little shacks. After that, there is like a small little warehouse type thing, and then a bigger one right after that. And I've already looted these just because it was nighttime and I was waiting for daytime to come, so that's what I did. But now that I've already done that, we're going to start our journey, and I like heading in this direction, so let me get my timer started, and we're off. Now, because it's going to take a long time to get around, not a really long time, but for the sake of the video, what I'm going to do is whenever there's nothing really happening, I'm just going to fast forward through it, and then as I stop at different places to loot, I'll show you the little loot locations. But remember, it's alpha, everything is subject to change, so that's probably going to change, but this should help you get started at least. Okay, so we're coming up on our next set of buildings here, and the thing is there are a lot of radioactive animals around this area, so I'm not really planning on running right through them, because as you can see, I'm low on shotgun ammo, and my handgun, I guess I could sit there and pick them off one by one, but that would just take too long. So we're just going to run around. there's a little bit of radiation in that town there. There's never been any loot in this building for me, so I just don't think it spawns there. However, one thing I want to point out is that where we started this little journey, if you walk across this field and right along the side of these mountains, but over this way, you're going to get right back to that road. And this is a really narrow area, so I mean it doesn't take you very long to walk over there. In fact, on this private server where I can do these videos and not worry about getting killed, I actually live in this area, so that way I can hit up those buildings on the road where I started, and I can swing on over here. And what I'm going to do quick is I'm going to stop my timer, and we're just going to run through this little town here quick. Okay, so now I'm going to continue the timer again, and then while I'm doing that, I'm going to give it just a couple seconds to catch up. Alright, so we've made it to pretty much our next little point of interest here, which is this little barn. And once you get to know these roads better, I'll definitely help. So, and I don't believe there's loot in here. I just don't think that loot spawns in those buildings. So, but anyway, once you learn these roads better, you'll be able to say, oh yeah, I'm by that farm or barn, I guess. Not really a farm around it, just kind of a barn looking building. But that's the only one I believe that's standalone, that's not really near any other buildings. And I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure, so I'm going to stick with that. I think okay, I was right. There is a little, I don't know what you call this. There's a little radiation area up here. I don't know if I'll need to use any pills. I haven't been over here in a while, but I'm going to run through. There's just like some random loot in the grass over here. So, again, I'm going to do a quick pause of our timer, and then we will pick up this loot. Get our timer started up again. Now, so far we're only at like 18 minutes, so that's not bad. I mean, when you consider the other open world games, it takes much longer to get around. Unfortunately, because it's dark now and I would like to have the flashlight out, I'm just gonna walk slow. But again, I will fast forward through this because nobody wants to see this. So we'll just continue walking right along the road, and we'll see what we find next. Okay, so just down a little bit from the house, we got this little guy up here. And a little one next to it. Alright, so I decided to wait a little bit till it got light out because I figured this would be much easier for everyone to see. So we are continuing on. Now, this is probably the most, high level concentration of radiation in the game. I used a ton of pills when I had to, run in there and grab loot. There's really good loot in there. I picked up some C4 and, just a bunch of other great stuff. But I had animals attacking me from everywhere, and it was just crazy. It was a lot of fun, but it was crazy. So now I'm gonna try and stay away from all these animals, but let's see how this works. So this is what this area looks like. There's like a house out there, or an office building or something, and then there's more like garages and stuff like that, some walls, the big smokestack there, all these shipping containers, and of course the gigantic wall around all of it. And of course there's this little building across the road. I'm actually just going to stop in here real quick because there are a couple of containers. And I guess I'll just pick those up. And pants, which mine are good enough. I'm just gonna keep them. So whatever. So there's that, and then there's actually another building. Might have been back there a little bit behind it. I don't think it was up this. Oh no, it's right there. There's another building right over there. So it's a little ways off the road, but it's another place where you can find some loot. And like I said, there's a ton of places off the road. Some of them I didn't point out on the way, even though they are relatively close by. But just because you couldn't see them from from the road, that's why I didn't mention that. Now I'm gonna get attacked. That was very close because I almost died. Wow. Alright, I guess we'll take these since we have them. What the heck? And that. Might as well drink one. So our health is refilling after all that nonsense. Alright. And, I hate to break it to you guys, but we're basically right back where we started. And so let me stop the timer here quick. And there we go. 28 minutes. So in 28 minutes, you can make it around that entire gigantic-ish loop in Rust. You'll be able to find your friends. Ooh, metal. Well then. We'll get rid of that. So anyway, yeah, you'll be able to find your friends, and you'll be able to do a little bit of looting. I showed you right where the, there's a couple of loot spots were, and again, everything is subject to change, so you never know if that's always going to be the same. But and now that we're back here, I can show you guys. I'm gonna skip right past those buildings, come running over here. Now, before I went into that first radiation-filled town, where I actually stopped the clock to do the looting, and it was right next to that little barn, and I was like, hey, yeah, if you go right across this field, it brings you basically right back to where we started. Well, here's that field right up here. So, just where the horizon is, right behind those trees now that we can't see it because we're in a hole. Okay, let me run over here. That's just wood. Okay, so here we go. So if you were to run through here, and you get to the top of this little hill right here, you'll be able to see where that little barn was. So, I mean, really you have access to, I think it was like 4 buildings over here, the 2 that were up the road there, and then, that little city that was over there. Plus, there's, behind these mountains over this way, there's there's like an airplane hangar, another little city, and a house. And then back, I think it was, where's the road? Just back over here was the little radiation city. So, I mean, you can get quite the inventory built up The problem is if you're on a public server, you're going to have a hard time with that unless you have a group of people with you. Either way, though, I think this is pretty successful. I didn't die, and we made it all the way around the map. Showed you guys some looting spots. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. And hopefully you liked this video. And if you did, again, let me know in the comments if you want to see more tips and tricks for Rust, or if you want to see a different game, or just more gameplay of this game. Let me know. Thanks for watching, guys.